Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes.
Hi, Emma.
Hola, I just want to make sure that I'm on the right link.
Yes, ma'am. It's the Employee Benefit Trust meeting. Sorry about that. I was
Okay.
on mute and everyone was saying hello to you.
Okay.
We haven't started yet. We have just a couple more minutes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh.
Right, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. Okay, so,
We're gonna wait for Mr. Magoo.
Mr. McGrew?
Oh, hello.
Okay. Call to order. Can I get roll call, please?
Board Member Maria Gonzalez. Board Member Gustavo McGrew.
Present.
Secretary Maria Sabori. Present. Vice Chairman Emma Torres.
Present.
Thank you. Chairman Gerardo Sanchez.
Present.
Chairman, you have a quorum.
Thank you. We're gonna go ahead and go with the consent agenda minutes of a special employee benefits trust meeting held on May 11th, 2022. I will now entertain a motion to pass consent agenda. Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Okay, there's a second. Second. Perfect. There's a motion. There's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? Motion carries. We're gonna go with item number 3A, discussion possible action on matters regarding the review and approval of Sierra Med audit proposal from Wilmot and Associates. Susan Posada, nice to see you.
Thank you for having me here. So nice to see everyone again. I appreciate that. It seems like it's been a long time. But down to business. Would you like to put the PowerPoint on? Every couple of years, we order a report for an audit for Sierra Med. That was a directive from the trust. We lost the last auditor. He decided to retire, and he wasn't going to close down business, did the whole thing. So it took us a little bit, a couple months to find an auditor. And the one that we're recommending is Walcott and Associates, which was referred to us by 90 Degrees. Okay, they're their auditor also. So they're going to be coming in with your approval to do the audit for Sierra Med. We continue to do it. I think it's good practice to do it. Every couple of years, we find very minor things, but that's kind of normal in an audit. So we wanted to continue to keep the plan, solid. And I do recommend that we take a look at that, and the cost for the actual audit would be $15,000, which is similar to what we paid before.
Yeah, it's the same amount.
Same amount, right?
Pretty much.
Think
It's like
so.
14 something, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, good. It's okay. So they're gonna be doing the audit,
Mhm.
90 Degrees, okay.
Yeah.
Does any board member have any questions? No,
No,
this is Sierra Med and this was done 2 years ago?
I'm sorry.
How long ago was that? Was this done 2 years?
2 years ago,
2 years ago, and they had minimal, if anything.
more or less. Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit more than 2 years because we were having a hard time finding an auditor.
Okay, very good. No. Do you need a motion for this to occur?
Yes, please, to approve the contracting with them. Janet, do you want to move over to the agenda?
Okay, so the motion is going to say, I move to approve Wolcott and Associates $15,000 proposal to audit Sierra Med claims. Do I hear a second?
Second.
There's a motion on the floor. There's a second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those again? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Now we're going to go with item number 3B, discussion and possible direction of staff directions to the consultant executive advisory on any and all matters regarding the review of the claims for the fiscal year 2021, 2022. Susan Posada.
Can you push the dashboard up, please? So every year, at the fiscal year, from July 1st, 2021 to 2022, I present the information on the dashboard on what transpired for the year. And I've been preparing you guys for months and months and months and months that it was going to be a bad year. And it was indeed, but there's good news on top of it all too. So if you look at, it's kind of hard. Can you go to where it says 2022 year to date? Yeah, go a little bit further that way. Mhm. Okay. Go to the next column. Yeah. Well, what we did is we funded the trust with 2.9 million. That's how much we bill every month for a total of 2.951 million. That monies went from the city to the trust to fund any expenses, claims, and that kind of thing. And as we already knew, we had 33 large claims with over $1 million that was paid out by the stop loss carrier.
Oh,
Yeah, we've never had anything like this in the past. Since I have been here, we've never had a year like we had this year. We had 33 people, and there was a claim of close to 500,000. And then there were 33. Usually we only have 7 to 11 large claims, but this year we had 33. So we kind of took a look at the claims, and I did a review with HR today. It's very, very difficult to tell what happened because the last several years, we've had really good reports. You know, a lot of money was going into the trust. But people didn't get services the last couple of years due to COVID, okay? Some of the claims were due to COVID related, but some of them were not. And so I think what's happened is that a lot of people put off surgeries and things they needed to do in the last 2 years. And then this year we got hit really hard. I spoke to the stop loss carrier, and they basically said that happened to almost all of their clients. Everybody got hit this year because it was a delay from COVID. So, and the good news is that even though we paid out, we put in almost 3 million, put out 4 million, but we were reimbursed almost $1 million by the stop loss. And it's planned properly, because if you look at, go down, no, a little bit. If you take a look at the 2022 year to date, after we received the money, that 997,000 from the stop loss, we only lost 138,000. That's all we lost, because the 1 million was reimbursed by the stop loss. So it was planned properly. We had the stop loss to pay for the $1 million in claims. So this is actually pretty good news. Even though it was a bad year news-wise, this is very good news.
but
But we'll pay for it next year. Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say.
yeah. I anticipate at least a 20%. We did get 20 this year. We were able to negotiate it down to 15. Only reason we were able to do that was because, one, because of the relationship with Symetra. They didn't want to lose our account. They've already made a lot of money from us,
Mhm,
you know, and they said, we've got to give some of that back. So they did, they came down. This coming year, I anticipate more of that. And here's the thing that we have not done, and properly so, because we do have quite a bit of money inside the fund. We have about a year in claims and fixed expenses. But in order to retain that position, we're going to need to increase the rates, because we have not increased the rates for, I don't know, 6, 7 years.
7 years.
And so we've retained them, kept them down. It didn't cost the money additional in budget for the city. And so now it's kind of time to reevaluate that this coming year. So any questions about what transpired this year?
Do you have an estimate on possibly like an increase for the stop loss?
Yeah,
next year?
about 20.
20%?
Mhm. But we're not starting out well either. Ms. Sabori, we're not starting out good. We just looked at the first couple of months and we do have claims. I did review some of the medical conditions on, what's causing some of them, but we have a birth defect. We have things that you have no control over. So there's other things that there's nothing you can do about, but there are some things that we can. And what we found in our review of the claims, it's hypertension and diabetes. And so with knowing that information, I think, we do something as much as we can about it. We're already talking about, and we have nothing concrete, but we're talking about the possibility of bariatric. I don't want to call it surgery, but a program that is more intensive on the diet and nutrition. So if they meet certain conditions, they may be qualified for bariatric surgery. But in some cases, they just lose so much weight from this intensive program that they don't get the bariatric surgery. So I too am having to reevaluate in my mind, these diseases, because things are changing in the world. Previously, doctors would do the bariatric surgery and then members were back to the same weight a year later. But now what they're doing, doctors have determined that they really need to put people on, find out what's really causing the problem. Is it metabolic? Is it mental? Is it all these factors? And once you begin to do that, you have better outcomes. And those conditions cost a lot of money.
Susan, this is Emma. So thank you for that explanation, because that was my question in reference to kind of the census of what are the conditions that most predominant conditions, and you just said it, hypertension and diabetes. So I think that I'm not sure about what wellness program do we have for the for the city, and how strict that is in reference to really providing the services, but also can they enforce the people having to participate? Because I know that we offer through Campesinos, we offer our Vida Sana program, and very few employees, and it's diabetes prevention, and very few employees wanted to participate. So, and it was free because we have a grant from the state, we offer it for free. And there was not much interest. And I think they were there for a while. And Maria knows about this and everything, but like I said, you can only do so much. But sometimes I know that the insurances also are tied with some requirements for the employees before it starts to cost them. One of the, really the best incentives for individuals to try to have wellness is if it starts costing them. So I wonder, where, what type of strategies are we putting together, as in our wellness program and promoting that in the city. I just don't have that information. So I was wondering about that.
Well, wellness can be very complicated because if you don't do it correctly, you have to comply with certain regulations. And, someone's in a wheelchair, but they can't do exercise like everyone else. You have to have a separate program for that member. I mean, there's so many requirements, and you want to make sure that you meet compliance. So you always want to have a company that provides some form of incentives. Some companies are doing it, and they're charging for members who are not doing some form of program, maybe charging more in their premiums than what they pay. So there's a lot of things that can be done. But I'm going to tell you, the programs that work the best is when we have our management dedicated to a wellness program, and they're doing it, and they're showing their employees, this is what we're doing. And I'm doing it too, and everyone else, council is doing it, and everyone's dedicated to that, then everyone begins to follow.
I
That's
agree.
just as found.
Mhm.
But it's a complicated decision. Certainly we've looked at companies to do that, but we have to be very careful from a tax perspective and a compliance perspective.
No, I think it has to be really come like internal, like you were mentioning. If the buy-in is from the management, then that's a very big step forward. I'm not sure. I just by what my employees feedback I received, because I was very excited that we were gonna be offering this service, and knowing this information, I was just like, oh, this is a good step forward. But then, they were very disappointed because they did spend time going and trying to recruit, and the interest was not there. So, yeah. So I don't know, Maria, you have any feedback on that, or of that? But like I said, I think that really it would be important to look inward, as the city, and assess the management interest in doing this, because if this is going to be costing so much to the city, I think that there is something that needs to be done.
They have a budget. I think it was 18,000, Maria. I can't remember. It was about
It was
18,000.
Between 15 and
15.
20.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
We have a budget for nutritionists to come in, and other wellness programs. But of course, you have to get people to come in. They also reimburse for fitness centers, and that's a good program if people use it. But a lot of it is driven, I think.
I know that we had a contract with the Yuma Regional Medical Center, and that was working out pretty good because they had doctors on a monthly basis come in and do a presentation. And that worked. I saw a lot of people participate. I know they were going to even public works, outside departments to do presentations as well because they couldn't come in. It stopped during COVID. Maybe it's a good time
Yes.
to restart. again.
Reevaluate that. Mhm.
Uh-huh.
You also have, through Healthy SU, you have a nutrition program. There was a young lady that I got a call. This young lady didn't meet the BMI, the fat index.
Mhm.
She just didn't want to be fat. But she didn't meet it, but she wanted a nutrition program. So we referred her over to Healthy SU, and that's what she's doing. For the rest of the family that qualify, that have the BMI that's higher than 30, I think it is, then they get free nutrition program if you have a certain level of BMI. So
I don't know if we've done a lot of promotion with the Healthiest You. I don't think I've seen it.
they,
but-
yeah, HR
Mhm.
sent out on the nutrition. But it takes time. I think we have several people on the program now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they have to be 18. So it's not like for the children, they just have to be 18. Any other question?
This is gotta regurgitate the bad news.
Hmm?
Gotta regurgitate the bad news, but it's okay.
Ugh.
No, it's
Forgive
something-
me.
It's something
I went to
that-
Disneyland and I was so hot. I was going between hot and cold, hot and cold. So I have a sinus thing going on.
Okay.
But that's pretty much the report that I have regarding the financials for the year.
Okay.
It's bad news, good news. We planned it properly.
And yeah, but we're gonna pay for it next year, the following year. Actually,
Yeah.
this year. Yeah.
Mhm.
So sounds good. So anything else on the agenda?
No.
I will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
There's a second. I get,
Second.
there's a motion, there's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? Motion carries. Thank you, Emma. Thank you so much for being on the phone. And so have a good night, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. See you soon.
Yes.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your
Susan,
time.
thank you. Thank you,
Okay,
Susan.
Thank you.
Thanks for driving out, Susan.